Hello everyone, this is Daniel Beijbom here. Wanted to make a little walkthrough video here of a mock-up I did of the Matrix main titles, the theme there, by Don Davis. One of the absolute most amazing soundtracks ever, scores. It had a huge impact on me, so I just wanted to go through this little piece that I did. That I mocked up. So actually it was a great composer friend, Rauf Rektobiasi, who suggested a while back that I should you should make a mock-up of this track. And I was like, nope, I will not do that. It's too hard. There's too many things happening. You know, as we know, the Matrix, well, use fast string runs and then the crazy brass. So, but anyway, I did it from kind of like from the middle of this main title until the end. So basically, I will just play through it and then show you a little bit of my kind of what I've thought about, with the strings, covering them up or like faking them, because I can obviously not do what they're doing. I don't have those libraries that can do those fast string runs. So I'm just going to play through it and then I'll go through it. All right, so there we have that. So as we can hear, there's a lot of stuff going on here. And this is, I did this by ear, so there's probably a lot of things that I'm doing wrong. And mostly this is just a good practice, have fun with trying to, what can you figure out, what's happening? And especially in a track like this, it's just chaotic in the background. So in the first part here, I'm just going to turn off the typical Daniel here, clipping always, because I'm lazy. Let's see, the first part. We could just go through a little bit of the brass first. Just gonna... Yeah, so that first, very cool rhythm there. And we have some trombones from trailer brass and angry trombones from performance samples, the free samples that I've been talking about before. So they're just playing this very simple rhythm. I just like using them. They're actually 3 bass trombones, and they have kind of a nice attack. Not super fast like Cinebrass that I'm also using up here for the trumpets. When you want to really have those fast or quicker attacks. But they just sound very realistic, and I'm combining them with trailer brass. That has, pretty good attack. I'm using them mostly for bigger things, bigger swells, but they worked in combination here with... So that, and then I'm using, let's see, for reverbs for like almost all of it, is going to be the Valhalla Room. Basically just pick the starting reverb that it starts with, and especially for sample modeling that I'm also using here. You're really going to want to use that reverb to kind of just drown them. I'm actually also using that, as you can see, sometimes, I don't know why. Look at all these, 4 reverbs. Why would I do that? That's just stupid. But I have this one, of course, for long tail, and then this one for the bigger room. I think this is just because I wanted to try them out, and then I kind of left them there out of laziness. But anyway, so this is what I used to use. It is, I've been talking about it before, the Todd AO, and then I EQ'd it a little bit. But I just imported it from Altiverb. Somebody had created that into IQDuce and Space Designer. I'm not using as much now because I now have Valhalla Room, and the good thing here is like you're supposed to, if you want the brass from sample modeling to sound like it's in a room, you want to really drown them in the reverb. So we have... That's not really going to cut it for this. So I really recommend that, Valhalla Room, and then just use sample modeling as I'm using here, and also doubling that with the other brass libraries you might have. It just gives it that extra edge, you know, when you're using these, because they sound very real, but sometimes not big enough. So that's where the combination works. I have the same one here, I think, an octave down. So that's working nicely. We had some horns from also Trailer Brass, and the same reverb setup for them. And I'm also... So we got, you know, as realistic as you can be, but it's still, you know, what, like 10 horns here playing, and then I'm all playing the 4 notes. So you got, yeah, 40 horns, but that's not really realistic, but who cares? And then I'm adding that with, let's see, French horn from sample modeling. Same thing there. I'll just, you know, add it as like a flavor on top. And as I did in that other video before, where I'm talking about orchestral mockups, I'd like to detune a little bit. So you detune that, and just find a little nice balance between them and together. Yeah, so they're doing that. Let's go to the next part, because that's also where the strings are. We can listen to. They're doing pretty much the same thing here in the beginning. But over here we have... So this is the fun part. So obviously I think Orchestral tools, what they're called, with Berlin String Series or some of those strings, can do fast runs. I'm using Cinematic Studio strings, and I'm trying to fake these kind of fast things. So one of the things I'm doing is, first of all, I can't really make out what the hell they're doing there, you know? It's just I can make out some of the things, and then I try to kind of just imagine, oh, they might be doing this. It's all about, for me anyway, for this, trying to make a cool mock-up and faking it as best as I can to get that sound across. So both, I have also performance samples, the fluid shorts, doing more for attack. So the pattern they're doing is kind of like this. And then we have in Cinematic Studio strings, I'm using the Staccato Sforzando patch. Let me see if they're activated. No, so let's see, maybe now. Yeah. Okay, so let's hear this. That sounds like major crap, you know? But together with both performance samples and then, you know, faking it a little bit more, I'm using minimal, Sonic Kinetic Minimal, found a patch, just doing something in that similar... Oh, I also added an octave for them, so they're sounding really crazy by themselves. So we have those three, and then I know the other strings, the violas, cello, and so on, it's also playing these something. But I'm not going to want to try to fake that anymore with actually doing the lines, because it's just going to be too chaotic. So here I'm just using a Trills patch, and they're just playing those two notes to create the atmosphere in the background, you know, me trying to fake something here. And let's see with these guys. Oh, my bad, not that one. All right. Also kind of chaotic, and you know, there's nothing I would ever expose in solo, you know, in a passage, but it works because there's so much stuff happening. Same with the violas and the cello, they're doing this too. And yeah, it worked in the whole context of things. On top of, you know, like the Woodwinds, they're playing this other rhythm. It's the symphonic. Let's see, Symphony Essentials. I did a demo for them a while back. So we'll get the Woodwinds there, the solo or the ensemble. I'm not sure if it's only the solo for these three, but we have the flutes, the clarinets. They don't sound that great, but the bassoon sounds okay. So we have those things playing over, same with the French horns. They're also doing that rhythm, the same French horns before. And then with the strings and all that chaos. Kind of works. I like the rhythms that Don Davis has created here. It's really, really cool stuff. And then we have the brass trombones, the same as before. They're doing their rhythm. Hold on, I get the triplet feel there. That, and then the trumpets over that. So for the trumpets, we have the the Cinebrass trumpets. Then we have angry trumpets from performance samples, the free stuff, and then sample modeling. So these together, I'm using Cinebrass up here. And then we have these just doubling an octave below. It's not going to be performed live, but this is just to create more of the effect of that quick staccato effect. And then the sample modeling alone. So they're doing that on top of the trombones with their rhythm. And then, you know, counter rhythm with that, with the French horns and the Woodwinds doing their other rhythm. Yeah, really love what he did there. Super cool stuff. Super, super cool. We have some awesome percussion as well. We're using Majestica, the bass drums there. From ADO, no reverb on those, because the sound is so huge by itself. Then we have from Audio Imperia, Decimator. They're now coming out with a new one, because I don't think you can find these on the website anymore, but it's going to come out very soon, the new revamped version. So this was just have the hit and the anvil, and then another bass drum kind of hit. Just gives a very big sound. Here we have, it's actually not Action Strikes, it's Strikeforce, one of my favorite percussion libraries. Here we're using some tiki-talks, you can see here, like gong and stuff like that, cymbal hitting them on the side. Using my reverbs as before. More of Strikeforce. A little small clock tick here. You have a bunch of these. It's really great stuff. And I just found something I wanted to use. Detuned a little bit to try to make it sound as it did in the original. And then we have just a timpani from also ADO Majestica. With also an anvil here from also Majestica that I found. So that, yeah, I just really like this percussion section. Turned out great. Right, so that is happening. And then we're moving on to, oh yeah, then they had the typical, like in the original, that little drum fill that comes in. It sounds very, those toms, or whatever percussion they're using, is very kind of 80s. Something just feels a little out of place in that score when the toms come in. But so I'm just trying to mimic that with Storm Drum 2. I found these Godzilla hits that had something similar. Doesn't sound that great, but in context it works. It comes over into this typical matrix, what do you call it, like a call response kind of back and forth thing. We have, I'm using the horns before, trailer brass, with the added sample modeling French horn solo. Hold on, let me see what's going on. Yeah, so that against the angry trumpets and the sample modeling. And then, of course, the sample modeling, it gives that a more realistic kind of boost because you can really control them so well. And really get them up there to that sharp kind of sound up there. And that thing is still just happening on the same beats as far as I can tell in the project. So it comes from. Yeah, so sometimes, you get that different feel when it's live and a conductor and maybe he's conducting free time and it gets that feeling that, oh, it's a different beat here. No, but it's actually just kind of the same. As soon as, that's kind of what I think is happening there at least. Next part is chaotic fast stuff too, over those kind of the brass, like a alarm thing coming. What do you want to call it? Yeah, so that we have piano is from Imperia Klavier, just playing these fast things that I'm sort of being able to hear there. But it's still just me trying to just come up with something that I think is going on. And also try to play it, of course, myself, not quantizing it. It sounds a little sloppy playing, but. So that with those reverbs, and then we have the strings doing the same thing, but as I could tell, I think they're coming in like like 2/16 later or something. So the beat would be. That's what I'm sort of hearing. Of course, they're probably doing a bunch of other stuff in there, but that's all I could make out. We have the same thing with the other strings, just doing those trills and stuff like that. And then works together because, it's all about, for these things, at least for me, faking it and try to make it sound as good as you can. Same with the cello here. because I think what I can hear in the background, they're doing the same thing, but lower. Yeah, the brass, the same stuff. Great stuff. French horn, the trailer brass, both of these, and then we have, this is from Cinebrass actually, the 12-horn standalone patch. Yeah, I love these. The solo here, solo French horn, slightly detuned, coming in with that attack. That really just gives that edge that I love. And this one's doing the same, I think. Yeah, and then these trombones and trumpets come in a little bit softer. But yeah, once again, this is what they're so great at, being able to push up realistically the sample modeling brass. And yeah. So yeah, really love the brass there, the combination of those different libraries. Using this gong quite often also, as I can hear them doing. It's just great. I had it in the other mock-up I did of the not Star Wars, what is it, Stargate. Also great just for atmosphere in the background. As it comes to the next part after this, that he's using also the Timpani Roll, very softly in the background. That creates that ambience and space. Comes like this. You know, it's just some noise in the background, and that's usually the effect of Timpani Roll. And now with added gong, just kind of simmering away in the background. And in the score, something's going on with the bassoons. I cannot make all that stuff up. I mean, I can't make it out. So they're just doing a trill in the background. And then we have just the double basses as well. But yeah, that is enough to create that effect. And then we got that little Gong Scratch. Let's see where that comes in. And just because now I can't find it anywhere. Yeah, it's somewhere, and I'm gonna find it. But anyway, that's just from East West Symphonic Orchestra, the percussion there. Could it be? No, I think you know what? It doesn't matter. Seriously. No, here it is. Oh, it was at the wrong section. Yeah. So those things are great. And that leads up to the final part, the chaotic finish. See how that sounded? Yeah, so here we have the same stuff happening in the piano and the strings as before. That quick. Same with the trills. Trills in the basses and cello, very low trills there, as trying to maybe, create that effect that they're doing the runs. Yeah, freaking chaos. We have some piccolo flutes doing some quick runs, what I could make out in the score. So it's also from East West, the Symphonic Orchestra Gold. Just the ready-made runs. Over some trombones, I think is on a, I'm not able to play, but let's hear them. I think it's just a G major with that cool rhythm. and they're coming on the offbeat. So the rhythm here, that's what makes it so cool, at least what I think he's doing. I can't, but you have the straight, you know, the 16th or 32nd notes, what's happening. Then on top of that, you have these trombones, and then you got the triplet trumpets. With this crazy pattern that took me a little while to try to figure out. But then we have the same types of trumpets here. With the sample modeling and the the cinebrass. And over the straight rhythm, as we hear here, is... And the trombones would be... With the triplets on the trumpets here. So these things together is just really cool how they fit, and it's just nice. It's like controlled, beautiful chaos that he created there. At least that's what I think he did. And on top of that, no, nothing happening here. Just got a little timpani roll in the background for more of that space. And that atmosphere in the background. And the woodwind runs, a little bit of the bassoons doing the trills like before. Strings with the trills, and yeah, it's the same thing. Leading up to this final call, response, what do you want to call it, thing again, with the French horn, the solo French horn. Over the angry trumpets and the sample modeling. That looked actually pretty cool. Kind of looked like the Matrix there. So anyway, that's my effort trying to do a mock-up of that track from the middle of his original to the end. And I think that's pretty much it, what I have to talk about here. Bass drums, these things, the Decimator Percussion, Majestica, Strikeforce. Oh, tuba also from Cinebrass, was doubling with trombones in the background. Trumpets doing that. These things. Yeah, so it's just about, like I talked to in the other mock-up, I mean the orchestral, the Stargate video. Just listening, go back and forth and have fun with that until you can find, oh, what am I missing here? Using the SSL, the G channel from Waves. I actually have a really good price on that. And it's just great for the EQ and that's actually mostly what I'm using it for now. And then boosting a little bit sometimes with the multi-band compressor here from OTT, X4 Records, free. It's free, so get it. It's amazing. Pushing a little bit on the highs here to get a little more crispy sound. Yeah, that is all about faking, especially the strings. My God, they sound horrible alone. I mean, they sound cool in a way, but they just, it's not, no, don't, I wouldn't expose that, in a solo section, solo passage. Together works really cool with the brass. And piano, woodwinds, brass, reverbs. Yeah, I think I covered everything I tried to go for there, and just finding my balance with the percussion. I have a lot of that percussion because I felt that having that in forefront and extra loud makes up for the fact that it is samples. And even though I'm trying my best to really make it sound like it's not samples, it's really hard. And it is samples. So anyway, that's what was happening in this track. Let's just maybe do one more listen, and then so be it. All right, that was it for this little walkthrough. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you were able to learn something from it. And all right, till next time, take care, everyone.